Hey YouTube, it's Drunk Monk 74 here, and I was going to be bringing you a video about sector control and how I generally tend to play it, and hopefully someone will find something useful in that. But when I was doing the commentary on this video, I found myself talking more and more about Medal of Honor, its gameplay style, and you know, like how people have been hating on it quite a bit, and possibly why they've been hating on it. And so I thought, you know what, sorry, I'm going to talk about that. So it's kind of like, this is going to turn into a sort of like a small mini review, or at the very least my thoughts of Medal of Honor and why, in my opinion, it's a great game. So one of the first things I want to talk about is your play style. You play how you played shooters in the past, Call of Duty, the Battlefield 3. Sorry, I was going to say the Battlefield series, but Battlefield 3 in particular, because I think what they've done with Battlefield 3 compared to their other titles has changed quite a bit. The mechanics of the whole game has changed. So I would say, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way in any way, but I think Battlefield 3 has become a little bit more run and gun, and that's purely because of the mechanics of the game. Because I think you can, you know, the hip fire is a lot more accurate. Your ability to scope up is a lot quicker. Your sensitivity, if you max it out, you know, you can spin around a lot quicker. So whereas if you even played Bad Company 2. None of that stuff was there really. So yeah, so with Medal of Honor, what they've done, well, how they've done it is more or less it's very slow by comparison to Battlefield 3, to anything in COD. You know, you can't hip fire in this game unless someone's bang just straight in front of you. You know, you try hip fire and you're not going to be hitting a barn door in this game. So you need to be using your scope. The other thing about using your scope is the scope doesn't come up that quick. You go charging around a corner and someone's there, you try and get them by scoping up real quick, you won't. Right here, this is another thing. People generally tend to complain either about camping or some weapon being OP, and I can't remember if in that instance right there that was a sniper or not. And yes, sniper rifle can seem a little bit overpowered if it's being used by someone who's fairly decent, but you know, like, even if that person's fairly decent, there are ways around it, and that was just a quick example of how to do it. Is you know, the grenade launcher or noob tube, you know, like it's there for a reason. You got it for a reason, and you can clear them out. You know, like if that was a sniper, I can't remember if it was or not, but you know, his class is not designed to be charging around the map. You know, he's supposed to be providing some kind of overwatch cover from distance. So you know, he had every right to be up there. It might not be a sniper, but you know, we could still get rid of him. And even if it wasn't a sniper, that's another thing about this game, is you've got to get into some sort of defensive mindset. You can't. It's not like, for example, in Conquest in Battlefield 3, you cap the flag, you move on. You cap the flag, you move on. And that's generally how a lot of people tend to play. Everyone's moving around. In this one, if you want to be successful, you cap the flag, and you want to cap 2 of the 3 flags anyway, 2 or 3 sectors, and then you want to hold them as well. You know, if you've got a fairly decent team or a fairly poor team, then yeah, you could possibly push up for the 3rd flag. But you definitely want to hold on to 2 of them, and that's going to involve you being a bit more defensive. You know, for all the reasons I said earlier, you can't go running around a map. You know, you've got to check your corners. So you know, moving around a map's got to be a lot slower. So if you're not defending, and that's what I think people got to remember, is people do tend to try and defend in this map, or in this game, sorry. So whereas in the past people would have thought, oh, that person's camping or something, they're not. They're just trying to defend. And the other thing is, like this, the team we're playing against now, they're basically getting base raped because we've taken the flag that's nearest their spawn. They could come charging out if they wanted to lose even more lives or lose a match even quicker. But the sensible way for them to play is to come out a bit slower, try and use some flanks, and get some kills, and then move up a bit slower. And that's how you generally are successful in this game. You've got to slow your gameplay down a bit. You know, if you're gonna try rushing every single scenario, you will fail 9 times out of 10. And this one right here is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Like, so there's someone up in that window, so I try and suppress them real quick with some grenade launchers up there. My buddy's just taking out the guy on the left, so I know he's now reloaded. So I push up, and I'm having a look. I've just seen this guy here, so I take this guy out. I drop back to reload and heal myself with my buddy. By which time he's moved up and he's taking that guy out. And then, you know, you don't always have to sit together either. Right here we split up. I trust him to go right, I go left. You know, we don't want to get flanked, so we sort of like trust each other. But we're also this is also backing each other up. I'm making sure he's not going to get flanked, and he's making sure I'm not. And right here, for all the stuff I've said about playing defensive and stuff, I don't have a Scooby what they was doing. Not a clue. They had nothing behind them to cover that door, so they didn't have no booby trap, and all 3 of them was facing the same way. And I guess it's easy enough to do. I think we've all done it. Kind of when you're in this much trouble anyway, you start to lose your discipline a bit, and your play style tends to get a bit wobbly at best. And that's, I think, what's happening to these guys here. They're you know, they're not playing sensibly right now. We're coming for that flag. They've already got it. So they're sitting there trying to rush the flag they've already got, and try and get a few easy kills there. Problem is we've all got our nice defensive positions all set. What I should have been trying to do is flank and cap one of the other sectors. But hey, let's just some real quick thoughts on this game. What I think makes it absolutely great. I think it's great. It requires different gameplay to like COD or Battlefield 3, because who wants to play the same game over and over again? Anyway, that's me done. I'm out of here. I will catch you later. Cheers.